Live. Arifureta time? Definitely. I am excited. I'm actually really excited to see this anime because I mean, we all know what an amazing message was last week, right? We all know what an amazing message was. We all know what a tragedy, like a real tragedy of last episode. We all know how bad it was. We all know how horrible it was, right? I mean, what can I say more that hasn't been said, right? I mean, we already said it all. Quickly, I meant a long video, but like 2 yeah, let's think about. What can you say, right? It was a complete mess because, yes, it is at the streamline, yes, it's a cliche, but I kind of want to see them actually going from this world, right, to this other world. I want to see them introduce the class. Like, one issue, a major issue is that he's being bullied in his flashback because he's a synergist hero, but we don't even know why the synergist hero is hated. Or, you know, it's like a weak shit. We don't know why they hate synergist class. There's no explanation for us, the viewer, that hasn't read, you know, the source material or like haven't seen other animes or so on. There's nothing that we know that tells us that the synergist is bad. And we only have a quick scene of him being bullied with it, and that's also, it's very, very shallow. It's like, I hate being bullied, I guess, yeah, or whatever, yeah. Not explained. You don't know what anyone else can do except the priest girl. So why didn't for him? We don't know that. What more is it? They don't really explain how the meat is gonna kill you and that the holy water saves him. It's kind of like, it's heavily implied, I guess, but you have to assume. You have to assume. There's so many stuff last week. You could assume the best story. You could assume he's bullied. You could assume his power is weak because it's the edgy shield hero. You could assume all of these bits. He goes all Kaneki, right? You know, I said last week, it is Nafumi going into the Rimuru cave that goes all Kaneki, yeah. You can assume all of this stuff based on cliche stuff and tropes and all the isekais, right? So you can actually watch the episode and understand it because at least if you're like me, we have seen like 50 other isekais, you can like fill out the isekai blanks and be like, I kinda understand the storyline anyway, because you have all of those other, how to say it, you have all the other isekai information you had, right? So you know what's gonna happen. So, it's bullied, I see power is weak, now I can eat blue mage, I see, yeah. So you can fill out all that stuff, but it actually isn't there. Like, the episode actually doesn't tell you that. And I mean, imagine watching Arifureta without having seen animes before. This is your first anime? That would be, you would blow your head out. Yeah, you would be like, anime is crap. It was the first anime you ever saw in your life. You probably would never see anymore. Yeah, you would understand nothing, right? The only reason I'm getting it, and I'm really, I've seen so many isekai animes, obviously, isekais, and I have, what can you say more? I worked, right? I worked in gaming for like 15 years. So I worked and role-playing game. I made my own role-playing games or something. Yeah. So I have all that back info, and I played like 1,000 JRPG games, okay? I'm a huge JRPG collector, right? And my master degree, I started role-playing games, so I've written a book about role-playing games. So I know my freaking like role-playing game tropes when I see them, right? So with all that information, I can assume everything in Arifureta. I know what's gonna happen, I see all the tropes, I know all the puzzle bits, but there's so many blank spots I have to fill out, and what are we? Anyway, episode 2 now, I'm in to see if we can save it. I'm actually genuinely excited to see if this garbage fire is gonna be even more burning, right, or if it's gonna actually be good. Because it's supposed to be one of the highest hyped animes, right? There was like number 3 or number 4 on popularity before it started airing. Yeah, it was like number 4, I think. We are like, you know, Okasa Online, which was really good. Check it out, Okasa Online Friday, really, really good. Love the episode, love the anime, freaking hilarious. That was like number like 20, and that was 10 billion times better than this thing. It's Shimagishan, Mahosa, and all these guys were much, much better, right, than the first episode of Arifureta. But they were all much lower in like ratio or like popularity before we saw it. So yeah, before it started. But anyway, let's start watching it. So 3, 2, 1, and go. And of course after this we're doing Copcraft, which I actually kind of liked. Yeah, it was pretty good. Yeah, Sword Milf is so good in FF4. Yeah, that was a really good anime. I mean, I knew it. I knew I was gonna love the Milf Isekai anime. I knew I was gonna love it. That was like, this is right down my alley. you know, sexy mama and all the jokes, and she's like, honey, I killed all the birds alone. He's like, Mom, can I please get to kill something? But nah, I mean, it's scary for you. Let mama kill them. Yeah, like I knew I was gonna love it. Okay, so he's level 17 now. I'm gonna show a scene soon after the opening. Yeah, I was wait after the opening, right? Because avoiding. If you start showing after the opening, you're pretty much almost safe from all the. Okay, bottom of the abyss. Second floor. Okay, so Kaneki is going further down here. Wait, he has a backpack now? I don't know how he has a backpack now, but okay, he has a backpack now. He's getting all lost. Okay, it's a lizard. Or like a salamander. With like petrification powers? How does that work? Yeah. It's a basilisk maybe then? If you play some Heroes Mathematic. They have the basilisk power then, they can petrify stuff. Them and the Medusa. So I'm calling it a basilisk now. This is definitely a basilisk then. Looks like a salamander, but I'm guessing a basilisk. A flash bomb. But are they blind? Aren't they blind? Okay, so opening. So after the opening we're showing it. So okay, that actually seems really unreasonable, because if you're in a cave, I'm just gonna point it out here, but if you're in a cave, right, and you're fighting like a salamander, like a basilisk, like a mythical salamander kind of thing, right? They are almost certainly blind. Like, they don't have eyesight, because snakes usually listen to hearing and so on. So he flash bombed something that is probably actually blind, if it was actually in reality. You know, I'm just saying that Pansy of the balance is that opening here. But I'm just saying, right, that probably is blind in reality. And if it isn't blind, it actually probably isn't that sensitive. It's either, I guess, extremely sensitive to it, or it's like super notative. I mean, either the salamander is either extremely non-sensitive to it, because it's like, I mean, if you're either have, it probably has extremely bad eyesight. So it's like, even if it's not blind, it's gonna be extremely bad. So the lightning probably won't blind it. It would be like, oh, I can finally see something. Or I guess it's super sensitive because it's so little. It could be that it's so little light in the cave that it can see with just a glimpse of light. So then when it finally has a lot of light, it goes blind. That could be a possibility, but probably completely possible in reality. But like, you know, I'm just saying, it should be blind, right? So anyway, here we go. I guess episode 2 starts kind of here then. Yeah. Okay, so he's fighting more animals. And see, I don't even know what that thing is. Anime, I don't even know what that. Should you get like a little pamphlet if you kill them? I guess you collect like a little trading bar card if you kill them. Please explain this. How did it be? I guess he can craft it with his synergist power, but yeah, he crafts like a backpack or something. Weren't they on level 65? Maybe they were. Okay, so Sigurd's gonna explain what the other people are doing. Okay, yeah, then they went to 65. That's true. Okay, so okay, no. F2 is out now. It's been out for like 15 minutes. You're watching it now, yeah. Episode 2. God's chosen heroes. Could you please explain this to us? Like, is this a warrior or something? I don't know. She's the priest girl, of course, I cast about him. Oh, not more flashbacks. No, okay, that's the, sorry, it's a sword lady. Maybe? She's very similar. Sword lady and priest lady are very similar in appearance. This we already know. This added nothing. She probably likes him too, right? No, the CG was there. It kind of censored it this time. But I guess she's best friends with Priest. Oh, okay, here's the CG. Oh, it's so ugly. I don't want to show it. Oh, it's so ugly. And like last time she stabbed the skeleton, and she stabbed like this, and she's like, oh, and it's like, it's in explodes anyway. It's like, oh, it's so ugly. Okay, so there is flashbacking the behemoth. Oh, that is so ugly. Oh, they're flashbacking the worst thing ever. This is completely pointless, though. This is completely pointless. It's just, yeah, and it's the same flashback too. It's the same flashback. They're flashbacking exactly the same flashback. Okay, she's like, no, don't go, best friend. You're gonna fall too. Okay, it's a little added there because she was like, don't go. Same flashback. Yeah. And he's also stopping her. Okay, so they're adding a little bit on that flashback. But they could have just shown this bit, right? They don't have shown the other bit before. With the ugly CG. I see the exact same thing. It's just a little more on her screaming. Did he knock her out? That was so unclear. What the F? I think Koki knocked her out. That was really not clear. This anime is so bad. I think he knocked her out. I think Koki knocked her out. Right? I think he knocked her out. The general. But that was like, I suppose he like bumped her on the head there. But that was really unclear. Wait, it's just a wooden stick to train with. Okay, we're finally gonna learn the class thing. Or we finally got it explained to us. This is how it could have started instead, explaining us the powers. Okay, 3 races apparently, okay. Could episode 1 could have this? Oh, sorry. Okay, demons and beastmen. Sounds very kind of open. Demons are kind of like an open... Okay, and beastmen are... Wait, are beastmen neutral now? Okay. What are the beastmen doing? Ah, whatever. Incredible powers. These are normal Indian. Except, of course, the main character. He got superpowers, I suppose. Does he have to explain that he got bad powers? Is this Sensei? Yeah. She's the Sensei. That could be better explained too. Oh my god, this anime is so confusing. I mean, I used to guess she was Sensei based on her behavior and her like clothing color scheme. Yeah. Okay, so Sensei is a character apparently. I think the redhead guy is the guy that shot him down, probably, right? Yeah, this guy is probably the guy that betrayed him, right? Probably, because he wants the priest girl, yeah. Like, this is so stupid. Why is this not in flashbacks? Yeah, it was an isekai. It is an isekai after all. But like, this could have been episode 1 instead, right? So having flashbacking her half-assed remembering what happened to them. They still haven't explained though that the main character has the worst class. Still haven't explained that he is the worst class though. That was just them being like, yeah, let's fight the demons. They didn't explain why everyone hates him, why he's so weak, why he's bullied and so on. They didn't explain anything. This guy might be the traitor, but he was more one. He's obviously the most suspicious guy so far, but they have more classmates, right? They have more classmates, right? So it could be some more one that actually shot him down, but... Yeah. Exactly, he's gonna figure it out now that... Yeah, like he's clearly points to the guy, okay. They're finally gonna explain that the synergist sucks. Or something. Yeah, he clearly likes Kaori. It's so obvious. Okay, she's gonna figure out that he probably should have shot him down. Okay, she's not, because she's an idiot. But what? She's like, wait a minute, he likes Kaori. Someone shot him. Could it be him? Nah, must have. Like, what? You had up the puzzle bit, and I was like, nah, it can't be. Oh, I hate when main characters are so stupid. No, I hate it when characters are so stupid, man. They have all the puzzle bits there, right? And it's like, no. It might not be him, though. I don't think it's gonna be him. I think it's gonna be someone else that's more hentai than him. Someone that's probably more evil than him. But he's clearly the obvious suspect, right? She's like, nah, Machine. Can't be. Come on. This is still so weird because yes, we just Isekai now. They still haven't shown though when they got transported. They could have been a better flashback with Sensei and so on. They still haven't, of course, again explained. Still not why everyone hates Shinigami Zero. Yeah, except him though. But I mean, like, why it's a bad class, right? One thing I'm wondering too is that was this their first adventure? What have they gone through other parties before? I mean, they have not had to show it because they explain that this cave adventure is actually like their 10th adventure. They've actually been partying through different other caves, so with Isu caves, something like that. Like, this was kind of weird. Like, I'm wondering if it's the first or the, you know. Okay, what's he doing now then? Why would he go upwards? Why is he actually going down into the cave? He's trying to beat the cave? Like, how does it work? If you defeat the boss, you get teleport out? How does this... What are the rules here? Why is he going down to the boss? See? I'm surviving. The other guys left, right? The other guys left the cave, right? They just left the cave. Why is he going down into the bad stuff? I'm assuming if you beat the boss, you get teleported out like in many games. Like, that's not makes sense to me. That the rules are that if you beat the boss down in the dungeon, you get automatically out, right? A teleporter appears, a portal appears. Okay, that's like a triangle. Keys. Typical key thing, you have to have 3 keys for it. Was the kind of three parts, right? Guess you cannot transmute that thing. Well, have you seen the ending? The ending is bad too. The ending is just 2 stars flying around like this. It's like a bouncing ball. I could code that in like an hour, as I mentioned last week. Okay, so if you don't have the keys, you can beat the 2 Onis, and then you can probably still enter. He's probably gonna end up eating them, right? So he can get some Oni meat. At least they aren't CG. At least they look better, the Onis, than last week. At least they look better, right? They aren't this ugly. I mean, I'm not saying it's the best animation ever, but it's actually it's 10 times better than last week. It looks better, like comparable better. I don't know how he does that, but okay. Yeah, the bullets are also, yeah, CG. Okay, that looks kind of ugly. It stands on CG there. It's standing on CG. The poor Oni has just backtrack here. Okay. That's an incredibly stupid boss in that you couldn't leave the door. So you could just stand and shoot at it from a distance, right? You were safe as long as you didn't get close to it. You could have like an arrow, or you could, yeah. Any kind of ranged weaponry would kill that boss eventually. Maybe a Yuri moment would make the enemy better. Yeah, but that's cool though. You can't look at the explosion, that's cool though. Have you seen opening the Fire Force when Maki does the whole fire thing? She's like, yeah, and you have to do that. The rest of you aren't cool. Everyone knows that. It actually looks kind of Yuri, but it's probably his best friends, right? There's like no relation to this though. Think about this having them in school before the first episode. You seeing a little bit of them being friends and so on. That would happen a lot more, yeah. Should I eat against the Oni? Okay, so you take... Wait, but there are two. I eat them later. That's good. That was a good comment. I will eat them later. He's gonna save the little blonde girl now, right? There was a blonde girl in the opening and so on. His first harem girl. Yeah, he's gonna save the harem girl now, right? Harem +1. I'm telling you guys, harem +1 now. Definitely, harem +1. I mean, writing it harem +1. I'm sure on it. I'm sure on it. It's gonna be harem +1 here. Definitely. Yeah. They're gardening the girl we saw last week, definitely. The naked girl. Yeah, this is Philo-chan. She's probably as more like Raftalia. So for some reason, he's going down in this dungeon and finds a little girl. I don't know why that's... Yeah, that... It's just in the box, probably. Yes, this she is. She is naked though, so you won't show this on YouTube. Then probably but yeah. So I don't even know why he went down there. This is so stupid here. I don't even know why he went down into the dungeon. I mean, why is he going downwards for? It's not explained right. And then he just goes down there, finds a little girl down there, and is like, there was not an entrance or an exit for the dungeon or something. I mean, yeah, it's plot, but I mean, is he thinking that if I go down here, I'm getting a teleporter out something? It's a point. Why is he down to begin with then? Why is he down here? Like, what did he think he was gonna find down here? He killed the boss, right? I understand why. What's he thinking he's gonna? I was betrayed. Ooh, he's like shield hero now. He's like, I will protect all betrayed people. Here we see. It's not Fumi time. It's like, I will collect everyone that's betrayed. Yeah, it really doesn't. Her hair, of course, is protecting her. She's a vampire. I see. She's a permanent. She's illegal, I guess. She's legal, I guess, because she's probably 1,000 years old, right? I guess so. She's legal. My ministers. So is she a demon then? Because they have the demon and the human race, but are vampires, I guess, are demons. Or are they humans who are undead? Yeah, what is a vampire? Yeah, so this food you steal her. I should eat her. He's probably like, I can eat her vampire meat. You should eat your vampire meat. Eat her. Wow, rule-breaking powers. Also, why is she here down next to the humans? I don't understand. This is actually the least confusing stuff. There is a hidden vampire goddess in the basement of the town. It actually is the least, I guess. Honestly, this feels like the least confusing part. Like every animatic thing going for it, every game. So this is actually just tropey. Okay, so he like light things out of it, maybe. This looks okay, actually. Yeah. Okay, little vampire girl is free. You see her butt, I guess, there. Yeah, and her oppai, so... yeah. Not probably... Not probably, yeah. Demonization, yeah. Yeah. And And he drinks something from his bullet thing. Want some? No, I drink blood. Okay, so he finds his own little harem girl. You know, it's time to get the first harem girl, you know, Isekai. It's hard having Isekai without having harems. She has no name? Okay, yeah. He can even name her. So this is his philo, yeah, he can even name her, right? Oh wait, if he names her, it's like a slime. If he names her, does she get way stronger then? It's like, if I give you a name, she get 10 times stronger. And she get super muscular next episode. That's how it's gonna go now. Okay, so you... okay, I expect you to have Oniga muscle next episode. That's it. It's like you massively muscle improves. Well, he's a vampire after all. Of course, he has red eyes and so on, and moon. And she's in love with him now. Woohoo! His first harem girl, yeah. And then someone attacks them? Who attacked them? The traitor guy? Oh my god, what edgy. Okay, the ending, no, it's the actual ending, okay, because last week the ending was absolute crap. The ending was so stupid, it was just a star flying around like this. No, it's actually, it's an ending with just the girl being naked, but yeah, it's actually the ending of this. Yeah, it's a fan service ending. And then, yeah, he's going on Edgelord. Ooh, another fan service character. Okay. Yeah, and they finally, with the bunny girl. I waited for the bunny girl with her titties or her pantsuit. I mean, you see her pants all the time, right? It's a very edgy ending. It's like their body shapes, right? And then we see her up-pies and the upper boobs there, and suddenly the other girls in bloomers. The other girls, they're like, no, I bet to the super stars we saw last episode. So this was the ending last week, right? We just had the stars doing this thing. There was no edgy, it's just the stars. So at least they had a little more budget to produce an ending this time. Oh yeah, an edgy ending, that's good. You gotta increase the harem. I have to say though, I'm only interested primarily in Swords Girl and of course Bunny Chick. Yeah, she's really good. Oh, I saw you misspelling the stars there. I had time to read that misspelled. The Golden Vampire Princess. Okay. Okay, let's review it. Yeah, the stars. Let's review it. Arifureta, and after this, of course, Copcraft. Copcraft was pretty cool, yeah. Classic duo cops thing, though. We're going to that after we talked a little bit about Arifureta here. Was it as bad as last week? I mean, the fight looked better. We have to say it. Yeah, hello guys. Yeah, so we're reviewing now. Yeah, so the fight looked better, right? I think that's fair to say. The fight wasn't CG nightmarish behemoth. This week instead it was, I guess, like two ogres for there, red and blue Uni fighting him, right? That looked a lot better. But of course it still looked pretty bad. It wasn't like it was a good fight, right? It was just like, oh yeah, okay, they were fighting and it looks decent. The fight wasn't any particularly good, but in comparison to last week, it actually looked pretty good, right? That being said, the actual fight itself, though, in my opinion, was really stupid. The fight itself was absolute crap, how that worked, because it's like, okay, so the big Oni guys can't leave the door, right? So they're just standing there and like, yeah, they can't do shit apparently. So if you have a ranged weapon, you can just shoot at them, right? They couldn't leave the door. So you can stand there and shoot until they die. So they were incredibly bad boss to free this vampire goddess princess thing, yeah. So she's a princess, kind of legendary super vampire, right? And in front of her, they have two bosses that cannot leave where they are standing. So incredibly bad. And also for that matter, why were the boss guys the keys? Doesn't make any goddamn sense. Why would you have the key next to the door, right? It doesn't make any sense. It's like having the classic thing, right? Where you lock the door and then you hide that key under something, you know, under your mat, or you hide the key in some kind of flower pot, or like next to the door, right? So the typical burglar, you check your plots and so on. Yeah, that classic kind of thing, right? That people seem to do a lot. Yeah, that's how it felt like. Okay, so we have two massive boss guys in front of the door, and inside of them are the keys to open the door. That's just retarded. Like, why would you do that? I would never design my vampire prison to have the two legendary keys next to the door. That's a freaking, like, you know, mama thing that your mother does for her like 5-year-old kids when they're going out and playing and she wants to lock the door but only have one key, right? That's what you do, yeah. So that's ridiculous. In a similar way, the salamander thing, or like the basilisk thing, are probably blind, right? They're in the freaking cave. They're like 100, 200 foot out in a cave. Salamander has no eyesight, in reality at least. And he listens such as snakes and so on. Snakes listen to the vibration in ground and so on, right? They're almost completely blind, most of them at least, and especially the one in caves. So the flash bomb on that thing was really stupid. I mean, either is very, yeah, because even if it has eyesight, to be really dull. So that felt like a weird thing too. To have to flashlight something that's probably blind. Yeah, that felt a little weird. In actuality, I mean, if you play a lot of games, which I have played a lot of games in my life, for example, the Troglodyte, or like Sableye Pokemon and so on, right? Usually, a lot of those like the dungeon crawling enemies, like Troglodytes or in Pokemon, they have like immunity to like accuracy and, you know, blindness and flashes and so on, right? Because they live in the caverns, so you can't blind them. Yeah, that's a typical trope because it makes sense to have the cave-dwelling monsters be immune to different kind of blind effects. Yeah, that's how it usually is in many games, right? Because it's like a logical based. Yeah, you know, the cave monster probably, the cave lizard monster probably has no eyes. Yeah, and you can see it on the eyesight. And the lizard even has the kind of weird thing on its eyes, right? It even had that thing weird for its eyes there. So it felt weird that it would be blinded. That's not a stupid thing there. It doesn't make any sense in my opinion. But now it's been like, okay, fine. Of course, some dungeon monsters are going to be weak against the flash thing. But it's the last thing I would try to do against a salamander if I was playing this kind of game. I'd be like, I would assume it's not weak against flash, blindness, and so on. I would think the all opposite. So it's the last thing I would do. It's the first thing he does. And I mean, in that sense, in my opinion at least, he comes as a moron, right? He comes up as a noob, right? So it's not good for the storytelling. But then we had the flashbacks. Okay, so we had the flashbacks. They were crap again. The flashbacks were confusing, unnecessary again, right? I hated her like, I hated her like, oh, it can't be him. Yeah, that was so stupid. But first of all, the flashback starts with you seeing the behemoth thing again. Why are we seeing this accident again, right? Completely failurish. I hate when they do the flashbacks. When they use flashback, what we saw last episode, they're doing it again there, right? For like 1 or 2 minutes, and then a little bit extra of her crying, of Kairi crying, and then I guess the guy like punched her in the face, or like, you know, punched her neck or something, or smacked her. So most of the flashback was just a recap of last week, right? So pointless. The last little bit didn't add anything at all to the story, because we already knew she was crying and so on. So it didn't add anything, but it was there at least, a little better, but that could have been shown. And his smacking her was very weirdly animated, so I didn't know, I guessed it happened. Again, the anime is weird, right? And after that, we see her concluding that he probably shut him down. Oh, this guy likes Kaori, he hates him, he's a suspect for this thing, and then it's like, can't be him. So that was ridiculous. That was really stupid, how she's like puzzling stuff together, right? And then she's like, nah, throws it away immediately. Oh, it's so bad writing. And then we see Sensei, and we see them get in there. And then again, it's just so convoluted and stupid way to do a flashback. Like, why are we seeing, instead of seeing them in school, right? For example, have Sensei and how they're acting in school and so on before they teleport in there. Instead of showing that, we see them kind of after they arrived, but not exactly after they arrived. So we kind of unsure on the time frame of how long has they been there until they met the Pope and so on? It doesn't matter so much, but it's an uncertainty, right? And then they are there, he explains it very, very vaguely. Humans fighting demons, and they are beastmen, but they are not in the storyline apparently. But they have humans fighting demons, right? And then he doesn't explain anything about the classes. Again, no one is explaining why the shooting is weak. No one talking about if they can pick classes or if it's random based or whatever, right? How they're gonna level. Still no one explaining if this K was the last attempt or, you know, if it's 10th adventure they have and so on, right? How many they are, set up and so on. So it feels like really weird because, yeah, so last flashback, kind of flashback to what happened last week. And then this flashback is like what happened last month or, you know, what happened 2 weeks ago. Then I guess next episode is kind of like less flashback what happened 3 weeks ago. I don't know. So very confusing, right? Very unnecessary confusing. Like again, this like stupidly like reverse chronological order thing. This makes it harder to follow, right? Because it's much better to just tell us the story how they got there instead of now jumping in kind of after they got there, but not how they got there. So still like a step, yeah. It's a weird, but also not really explaining anything at all. We see Sensei joking a bit, but not really explain anything at all how they're going there. So they didn't answer anything whatsoever. And also, why is he going down in the K, right? So I don't get it for a second. Really stupidly done, as last week. It's like the writing is just horrible. It's like the worst you can imagine, I feel. Everything is just... I don't feel more confused now, except why he went downwards, but I feel like this, unfortunately, didn't answer anything that I was questioning last week. It just still remains everything, yeah. So, woof, what an anime. The direction clearly is horrible. They have no idea what they're doing. That is pretty obvious. So yeah, I guess that's it for this week. See you guys soon with Copcraft. I got a 5-minute break or so. Then we're gonna do Copcraft, a duo cop team, nice cute elf girl, you know, laid back cop guy fighting mystical crime. I kinda liked it. I like her design a lot too. I like the artist doing the. But we already knew that Isekai from the premise. We already knew that Isekai. We already knew that Isekai. That we already knew that. We already assumed that Isekai. But yeah, it's kind of funny because last week you could like you can assume it's Isekai anyway last week because his name is he has a Japanese name and he lives in a fantasy world, so you know it's Isekai because like look like that Manshai. His name is Bell Crane, right? So his name isn't like, you know, Takeda Harada or something in like a fantasy world. So you know it's an Isekai because they have that Japanese name, but they're in like a medieval European fantasy world. So that's why you know it's an Isekai. I would say so anyway, even without saying it. And the opening last week did actually show the Isekai. So now we know it's Isekai because the opening did have teleporter last week. The opening shows the Isekai moment, right? But anyway, yeah, see you guys in a 5 minutes with